Okay, guys, I just wanted to show you how they are all in the same tadpole, and they pretend that it's our opinion poll that elects them. And herein I will show you this Mi6 creature. Like, with all this money that they steal from people, you'd think that they will get their ugly beaks fixed, because I swear they look like it's a mixture between vulture beak and a penis. And why are you walking around constantly and like you have a giant billboard flashing in neon lights that you are a pervert and you are inbred and you have chimera features because you were mixed in a lab with some bodily fluids from frogs, because before they froze you as an embryo they have to put you in a fluid from other people, from other species in the animal kingdom that can hibernate, so that your parents who are cousins wouldn't have this damage on their sperm and egg. Anyways, like, this one clearly looks like the same head, the same everything as this Prince of Monaco. And that Prince of Monaco, I mean, when I look at him, he has such a disgusting look about him, as if, like, it's like centuries and centuries of inbreeding. Like, his fathers, grandfathers, etc. have been screwing their own family members, and it's just so like, when I look at him, I feel like you are in some exotic country and you come to take a shower and you are standing naked under the shower, and then some giant cockroach falls on your back. That's how I feel when I look at this face. It's like, ew, it's so disgusting. And they have such strange appearances that it's like really, really, really repulsive. Sir Richard, dear love, KCMG OBE Mi6. No, for reals. You look at this creature for so-called Mi6 chief, and you tell me that he is not gay with his probably cousin, gay lover, David Cameron, and they didn't create this thing called Mark Zuckerberg together in the lab somewhere. And this weirdness about them, how they look in one eye in one direction, in the other in another direction. Like, you can really see that they are degenerates from inbreeding. Like, you cannot look at this thing and say that he has no frog in him. Like, you see on cellular level that it was built with frog material. look like these big ears, and all the face features are perverted. It's really disgusting. Like, how can you possibly end up so ugly? Like, for reals, how can you be so ugly? And they all have this Marfan syndrome, that they are huge, and they're they kind of have this legs that are not straight. They are joined on the knee level, and it looks like a caricature. And it's supposed to be like the most intelligent person out there, you know. And you can see that, you look at them and you see that there is not much intelligence inside. Like, they're trying to wear ties and business suits, and they wear glasses. But the fact is, they don't look really smart. They look like they are degenerates. And clearly they practice a cult, and they know all their information through psychics. Like, they capture some psychics and they force them to work for them. Maybe they also practice it themselves, where they stimulate certain area of their brain, or they take some type of mushroom or whatever that makes you have those psychedelic experiences. And who knows what kind of pharmacological substances they have developed by now. Maybe they have the power when they like, you look at their pictures and they can know whoever looks at their photos. It's just really, really ugly shit. Like, you can tell by looking at them that they are inbred, that they are conceived at an orgy somewhere, and or in the lab. Like, back in the days, they were conceived in the orgies where they have several fathers. And now they just mix it in the lab by themselves. And then they have this, I heard that 12 of the 9 people whom they believe are divine, and whom they worship as deities, and they stand on those balconies and they call them predictors. And then eventually the rumor goes that they pick one of them, the younger relatives, between themselves at that pyramid structure, and then they either make them drink blood and eat brain of an elder, this predictor who is in the top of the hierarchy, so that their spirit and the intellect would pass on them, or they do it via surgery, as it's shown in the Get Out movie. So they have everything by design organized this way, because I don't think they can reincarnate, so they have to breed via lab. Also because those who are on top, who are those what we call hierophants, predictors, oracles, they cannot reincarnate, so they have to do these procedures where they have to make a younger person out of their own family, out of their own kin, drink blood and eat brain, or do the brain transplant and blood transfusion, so that the spirit and the mind would pass on. Or because everything has its purpose. They don't just inbreed without a purpose. So I also wanted to mention those who play them in the movies are also one of them. For example, if this character Angelina Jolie plays a spy in the movie, it's likely a spy in real life as well. So I think they breed them in the lab for specific purposes of becoming this honey trap. And these children that she says that she adopted somewhere, I believe those children are her biological material just put in a native surrogate. So like she chose to clone herself in the brown skin body. I believe that's her daughter. So, and as for this thing called Shiloh, so basically all their so-called adopted children are actually their kids, just carried by a surrogate from a different race or nation. And they don't want you to know about this because, like, look how she has the almond eyes, the huge eyes, but almond eyes, just like her mother. And she has these two rabbit teeth, just like this one has rabbit teeth. And they have so much similarities between themselves. Like this one has a certain neck, and she has the same kind of neck. She's obviously modified and different in some way because she has two mothers, and one mother was a surrogate she was bought for. So they hide it because it's like kind of immoral that you can, if you have money, you can buy a child like that. Like if it's international slave trade market, and you can buy a child like a purse, you know? And when it comes to this Shiloh, of course this Angelina thing was made in the lab, so it's an androgen. It's like they have these twins that are fused together on the stage of pregnancy because they attach several embryos so that they hope that there will be more chance for some to survive, and they end up eating each other or fusing together. That's why they have these wide shoulders and narrow hips when they are women, because they end up a twin fused together. They can have different blood types in various different parts of their bodies because of that. And in different organs, they have different molecular structures because they are different people in one. So coming back to that Shiloh character, as we know that it was claiming that it is a transgender, and now it came back to being a woman. So what these people who are gay, etc., they don't understand is that a lot of diseases are actually connected together. And they are trying to poison people so that they would cull population, so that people would get cancer. But sometimes the poison settles in different parts of the bodies. Like in some type of organs that produce hormones like a thyroid or kidney or ovaries, if heavy metals or organophosphates end up in those organs and they have this autoimmune reaction to them, and the person does not develop cancer and die as they plan, but instead, for example, becomes autistic or gay, which was proved on birds when they fed birds with mercury, birds became gay. What else do you need as a proof? They fed birds with mercury and birds became gay. When all this LGBTQ community finally wakes up to this agenda and realizes that they have basically their sexuality stolen from them, so that they now cannot breed, basically, a man and a man cannot produce a child. A woman and a woman cannot produce a child. So that fits their agenda and at depopulation on one side. And on the other side, people were made invalids, not in their brain, but in their sexual organs. They have their sexuality stolen from them. That's what they need to understand, that their sexuality has been stolen. And instead of trying to cure them, because they had this done on them by the government, and it shows that you can cure it by this Shiloh example. Of course they don't heal by themselves. Of course they don't, but it's possible, and that Shiloh character proves it. It is possible to be cured from that and become normal again. You know. And I also wanted to mention about that Brad Pitt character. His first wife, I believe, is his cousin, Jennifer Aniston. They look too much alike to me, as it looks to me. And yeah, it seems infertile. And you can see that this Brad Pitt character was also made in the lab, because he had this twin put into a Spanish surrogate called Benicio del Toro. That director or actor, whoever he is, you can clearly see the same genetics in them. So anyways, I wanted to show you this character on that Gutfeld show, and he claims to be a CIA agent. I wanted to show you what he dresses like. Like, he has this jacket on that looks halfway business jacket, and it's like customs made for him. And he looks like his skin is fake. And at the same time, he wears jeans and brown cowskin boots. See, he looks like his life is grand. See what he looks like, what he dresses like. That, my people, is how very rich men dress. And the brown cowskin boots, it's what good family men usually wear. So, I just wanted to say, watch and learn. No normal American man dresses this way. It's mostly only very rich wear this way. because these are custom made. And I wanted to talk about this Cyrus character. He always bends his ring finger just to show his contempt to marriage or something. I think they run these agendas for black people, not to create families, to destroy black people's families. And this one, of course, with an eating disorder. These comedians, they have this defense mechanism when they are truly fragile and broken inside and they are deeply depressed. So they develop this sense of humor as a mind trick to not kill themselves. And when we talk about these type of things, like you look at him and you realize that it's hard to believe that blacks were real slaves, because you look at this person and you just imagine that he's some kind of a king and him from the dynasty of kings, and you can just imagine him sitting on a golden throne and in some huge palace, and generation after generation. I imagine they were just wealthy and they owned plenty of rubies and emeralds and gold and all kinds of lions and shit. And he has very interesting eyes, like blue eyes, or they seem purple eyes. All is very interesting to me.